so now we're going to talk about the definitions. So we'll see how well you did with yours. First of all, we know a right angle is an angle that measures 90 degrees. Okay, good. Any angle that measures 90 degrees is considered a right angle. An acute angle. Let's see how close yours is over there. An angle that measures less than 90. Perfect. There you go. Now notice my difference in the definition is I've said that measures. Okay? When you just say like less than 90, we don't know if it refers to the measure being less than 90 degrees. So that's kind of what goes on there. An obtuse angle. Let's see what we got here. An angle that measures more than 90, but less than 180 degrees. So we're specifying that an obtuse has some boundaries. It's got to be between 90 and 180. See, a lot of people think that you could just say more than 90. The problem is, if I had 200 degrees, that's not considered an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is cut off at 180 degrees. Because, remember, an angle of 200 would be a reflex angle that we learned yesterday. And the angle itself would be 160. So that's why we have to cap that off. Complementary angles. Let's see how well you did here. Two angles that add to 90 degrees, or two angles whose measures add to 90. Two angles that add to 180 degrees. Good. Now we can see that the vertical angles in the linear pair are going to be the last two that we look at. We'll see how well you did here. Okay. Because if you look at the vertical angles, I don't think of vertical in the respect of up and down when I think about vertical angles. I know when you think of the word vertical, it means up and down. Vertical angles aren't that way. Vertical angles are actually angles that are opposite each other. So angles formed by two intersecting lines. Okay, that share. So angles formed by two intersecting lines. So we take two intersecting lines. They share a common vertex. So they share a common vertex. But what don't they share? But no common side. So I'll let you get that down and then we'll talk a little bit about what that means.
You were very wrong.
It's close.
He was actually close because they are equal, believe it or not. Vertical angles are equal. So, now, whenever I draw two intersecting lines, that actually forms two pairs of vertical angles. Okay? Now, if you look up there on the board, angle 1 and 2, actually, let me go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and label them 2. Those two angles share a common vertex, and that's the point in the middle, right? 1 and 2 do, but they don't share a side. 1 and 2 share a vertex but no side. 3 and 4 over there share a vertex, no side. Those are vertical angles. You are correct in that they are congruent, and we will cover that eventually. So a linear pair, let's look at this. Two angles, whoa! You've got two angles over there. Let's see about the next word. Oh, I have that. That add to 180 degrees. Oh,
Oh, you're close to me.
and share A. So let's think about our definition for vertical angles and apply it to linear pair.
Vortex.
What does a linear pair share? They share a
Line.
common
Vertex?
vertex.
Yes.
And do they share something else?
A line.
A common side.
That's right.
So they share two angles that add to 180 degrees. So the add to 180 degrees means a line. Okay, when you say they add to 180 degrees, that means a line. They share a common vertex, which is that point, and a common side. So it's important that we have good definitions. All right, so that was the topic of today. Now your lesson is filled with some fill in the blanks, some true falses,
That's what I would do.
things like that. Oh yes, you are.
How about 1 through 5?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Whoa, skip through there. Now I have 1 through
Oh,
24.
That's all right.
Okay. Now in looking at that, I will go ahead and you can take out number 10.
Yes. What's number 10?
Okay. That is the characteristics of a good definition. You can go ahead and take off number 10. So basically 1 through 24, not number 10. You should be good to go then for tomorrow.
I love 23.